Okay, so in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you guys how to make a campaign inside Test Easily. Now, the method that I'm about to show you is pretty much the same with all trackers out there, but for this specific video, I'm going to show you guys Test Easily. And if you guys just follow the same methodology with any other tracker that you are using, if you're not using Test Easily, then you should be good to go. But for this specific video, I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do step by step. Once you go to the Add Campaign page, and you create a campaign they can actually start sending traffic to through your tracking link. So the first thing that I do is I actually assign my campaign a name, but I start off using the campaign ID. So it's very, very easy for me to identify what campaign's what, especially because I have loads of different campaigns. So I always like to start with the campaign ID in the beginning. And in my traffic source as well, when I make a campaign, I just start off naming my campaign in my traffic source with the campaign ID. So it's very, very easy for me to see that 453 in my campaign name is assigned to a specific campaign in my traffic source that says 453 as well. So this is how I start it off. I might start it off with about 453, 453. Then I might start it off with the geographical location I'm targeting. So for this campaign, it might be UK. Then it might be the type of traffic source that I'm actually using. So let's say, for example, that I want to use Rev Content or content.ad, and I might type in the name of the offer that I might be pushing. So for this specific campaign, I might be doing Evermax, and I might specify whether it's like mobile or desktop. Okay, so mobile, and I might even specify even more. So this might be a mobile campaign on Android. Okay, mobile Android. Okay, so right now by looking at this, I can see that. Let me just put ID 453. I'm targeting UK. I'm using the traffic source content.ad. Okay, I'm using this specific offer, which is Evermax, which is on our network A1 Revenue, and we're targeting mobile, and I'm specifically targeting Android. Okay, for this specific campaign. So that way, I mean, let's say for example, if I have different campaigns, I can very, very easily segment and look at which one's which, and I have a lot of control over a campaign, and I want to make sure and I keep this type of naming structure for all my campaigns. So I might have another campaign that might be ID454 UK content.ad Evermax mobile and iPhone. Okay, another campaign might be ID455 UK content.ad Evermax mobile iPad. So then by doing that, I can see that, okay, very, very simply, Android might be performing well, iPad and iPhone don't perform well. So let me just continue running Android. Let me pause iPhone and iPad. So that's why I keep my naming methodology and my naming kind of practices similar to this. Now, category, you can specify a category right here. So for example, this one I might just call it, you can specify a category by traffic source or the type of traffic that you're using, or you can specify it by the type of offer that you're running. So let's say, for example, this is going to be native ads. Let me just put content.ad as a category. So when I now pull up my reports, if I want to segment stuff, I can look at all my campaigns that I run on content.ad. Now, append sub ID to landing page or offer. What I always do is I append sub ID to offer. And a sub ID is something that is created. It's like a bit of code. It's like a bit of just a random string of characters. So it could be X13725BEJ, right? Random string of characters that your tracker creates every single time you generate a click on your tracking link. Now, what happens is your sub ID, right, which is just basically a random string of characters or a random sequence of characters, can get added to your offer link. And what happens is if it gets added to your offer link, which is append means basically add to something, okay? Add to the end of. So if the random string of characters that you get for every single click gets added to the end of your offer link, that allows your network to communicate with the tracker and basically say that this string of characters created a conversion when it does create a conversion. And that's how your tracker communicates with your network to be able to identify exactly which click generated a conversion and which one didn't. So you can see in your reports that you can see in reports exactly where you're getting the conversions and where you're not getting the conversions, and it's through sub IDs. So a sub ID is just very simply a random sequence of characters that your tracker adds on, that your tracker creates every single time there's a click, but you need to tell it where to add it to. So I always append my sub ID to my offer from my affiliate network. Now, cost per visitor, that's how much you're going to be paying every single time you generate a click onto your tracking link. So you might not know this information until you actually make a campaign. So you can always change this. So don't get head fast and just think that this can never change. You can always change this. So typically, I might just put 10 cents there to start off with, and I can always change it once I do get some data, and I can see how much every single click is costing me, or how much every single visitor is costing me from a traffic source. Now, when it comes to adding landing pages, all you have to do is press the button, add landing page, and you can name a landing page. So I might call this landing page right here. So let me actually grab this link and show you this landing page. I'm going to just give a simple name that allows me to identify this landing page. So I'm just going to call it like Kate's blog landing page 1. So Kate's blog LP1. You can always change your landing page name. This is just for you to be able to identify what landing page is performing the best. And your landing page URL, that is going to be the domain name, right, that your landing page is hosted on. And you just want to copy that right there. So this is my landing page right here. I copy the domain name, paste it right here. Okay, whoops. Make sure there's no spaces as well at the end, or it can mess things up. And you also want to copy things, including the HTTP as well. Okay. This is the amount of rotation that you want your landing page to get. So if you have multiple landing pages, you can set 50-50 rotation, or you can set one landing page to have 75% of the traffic and another one to have 25% of the traffic. And you can set a landing page to be active or inactive right here. Okay, so right now for this campaign, I'm just going to run one landing page. I'm going to press the minus thing right here. Now, when it comes to adding offers, it's the exact same type of thing. You can name your offers. So for this specific offer, it's called Evermax. So Evermax right there. And the offer URL, that's where we get it from the network. Okay, so just remember that we put the links going to our offer, right, from our tracker into our landing page, but the actual offer URL from our network, our offer URL from our network. This is going to be the offer they're going to be promoting. We always put the offer that we are promoting into our tracker. Make sure you write that down, because a lot of people they get confused and they think they put the offer URL from the network straight into the landing page, but that's not the case. You always want to make sure you put your tracking offer links into your landing page, and you put the offer URL from the network, from the actual CPA network, the offer that you're promoting, into your tracking account. And dynamically, automatically, what happens is when people click on your tracking link on your landing page, okay, from your tracker, it automatically displays the offers that are within your tracker, okay, from the network, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So the offer URL, we're going to simply connect that from the network. So you can see that I've got Evermax right here that runs in the United Kingdom on our network A1 Revenue. So I'm going to click on Evermax right here. And it's going to open up our tracking link. Now, what we want to do is we want to add a couple things to our tracking link. We want to basically write where we don't want to write where we are generating our traffic from, but we want to have a key specifically that we can send to our network. And the reason why we want to have a key for every single campaign that we create that's running on a new traffic source is because sometimes different traffic sources or different places that you advertise on, they can have better quality than other places. So if you can actually create like a key, so for example, right, on source right here, it allows us to create a key. So let's say, for example, we're running on content.ad. So I might put CA for content.ad. We're running the UK, so I might put UK. So CA UK, and I'm running on Android, so I might put AND. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about by a key. So by me creating a new source, right, to my tracking offer URL, each time I create a campaign, what that allows me to do is, let's say, for example, if this had low quality, but maybe I had iPhone, that might have called CAUKIPH. If iPhone has very, very good quality and the advertiser's making a lot of money and the person who owns the offer is making a lot of money, they might give you a pay bump on this source, or they might tell you to run this source and pause Android, okay, rather than getting paused off of the whole offer. So that's why you want to have and send your sources of traffic. You don't want to have it so it's so obvious that your CPA network can just run your stuff and the offer owner can just run your stuff, because the offer owner, they see this and they can basically tell you, okay, pause this source, run this source, and by doing so, you can then optimize your campaign without getting booted off the whole offer if the quality is bad. You might have some sources that might do well, and you want to pass that to the advertiser and to the CPA network so they can tell you where to run and where not to run. And sometimes you can get pay bumps on specific sources that have very, very good quality versus other sources. So for this campaign, I'm gonna call it CA UK Android. Okay. So for me, I can tell that's content that I add UK Android, but for the actual affiliate network, they might not be able to tell. Okay. So I'm gonna press add, and it's gonna add that source to our offer link right here. Now the last thing that we want to do is we want to add a sub ID. Now what I always do is I use the sub ID 2 field right here. And I use a very simple rule, okay, which is you want to basically allow the tracker to add the sub ID to the end of your offer, okay? But in order for us to be able to have a place that can get added to the end of our offer, right, to be able to collect the sub ID fields for the network and be able to register exactly which click is generating the conversion, we need to actually add some random lines of just random characters to the sub ID 2 field, so we can add a little bit to our offer URL, okay? So what we need, let me just show you guys this very simply. So this is going to be our offer URL as it stands right now. But this is not going to be the offer URL that we're going to put into our tracker, because we need to add something to the end of this offer URL right here. So I'm going to just put in the sub ID 2 field, right, in the add sub ID, in the sub ID 2 field, I'm just going to put a random string of characters, okay? So I just literally wrote gibberish. And I'm going to press update, and look what happens to the offer URL. We can see that it adds this little part right here, which says and af underscore sub 2 equals, okay? So what we want to do is we want to ignore all of this random rubbish that we basically added to the end of our offer URL, and we want to copy everything except for the rubbish that we literally added to the end of sub ID 2, okay? So let's just copy this. I'm gonna show you how it looks. So this is the campaign offer URL. No, this is the offer URL. I do apologize. This is the offer URL without the rubbish. Okay. Now this is the offer URL as we need it, that we need to actually add to our tracker, that includes the part and af underscore sub 2 equals. Now guys, don't worry if it sounds really weird and you're asking why I'm doing this. I don't know specifically why I have to do this, but all I know is it works. Okay, so it's kind of like driving a car. You don't need to have to realize why the engine works the way it works or why the catalytic converter works the way it works. You just drive the car. You just need to learn how to drive. So just follow this rule. Just type rubbish into the end of sub ID 2 equals, right, or the sub ID 2 place, and copy everything after you've pressed update except for the rubbish. Okay, so even including the equal sign. And once we have that, we're going to copy this offer URL right here. And what's going to happen, and make sure there's no spaces. Cool. And what's going to happen is every single time a click is generated, the append sub ID to offer is going to add a sub ID to the end right here. Okay, so that's what we needed to do. That's why we needed to delete the rubbish that was at the end of the offer URL. And again, you can add multiple offers right here. Okay, and you can also set them as active or inactive. Now, with Test Easily, you get the opportunity to be able to do a lot of advanced features that's going to allow your life to be very easy when it comes to testing. So for example, you can actually see heat maps on your landing pages, okay? And if you want to see that, just activate it as on or off, okay? You can also multivariate test your landing pages and A/B test your landing pages. Now if you want to do that, you can press on or off, okay? And that's going to turn multivariate testing on or off. If you want to add redirect rules as well to your landing pages or to your campaign, so if you want to redirect specific types of users to specific offers, you can do that right here by pressing on or off, okay? And it's going to allow you to add a redirect rule they've created right here to your campaign. And so, for example, if you want to redirect iPhone users to a specific landing page and Android users to other specific landing page, you can set up a redirect rule in the campaign section right here and create that rule and attach it to your campaign. The rules will come up here. And once you do that, all iPhone users will get redirected to one landing page, and all Android users will get redirected to another landing page. Okay, so that's why redirect rules can be very useful. And if, for example, you want to track all the direct traffic that comes onto your landing page that not necessarily clicks the tracking link, but actually just comes directly to your landing page, maybe by Googling it or just finding a landing page from someone, just pasting the URL in, they can press track direct traffic, and people will get sent to your offers automatically as soon as you press track direct traffic, okay? Now, this is all optional. I mean, you don't have to put any of these on, but for this example, I might just put heat map tracking on and multivariate testing on. And my campaign URL is going to be the URL that I'm going to actually give to my traffic source. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys how to add tracking tokens to your actual campaign URL. And the tracking token allows you to collect extra information from a traffic source and pass that information to your tracker. So for example, you might have loads of websites that you're targeting on content.ad, and some of these websites might be profitable, some of these websites might not be profitable. But if you just give your campaign URL to your traffic source as it is, like this, then you're not going to be able to tell exactly which of the traffic sources are profitable and which ones are not profitable, because you can't tell, you can't see the traffic. Your tracker account is not going to allow you to see which ones are profitable or not profitable. So you need to actually add extra tokens by pressing on, and you need to add the extra tokens the traffic source provides you. That's going to provide you with extra information their tracker is going to be able to pick up. Okay, so as an example, we're going to go to a website called trackingtokens.com, and it's going to have loads of different traffic sources, okay, that have all of the tracking tokens for loads of different traffic sources. So what you can actually do is, if your traffic source is not here, you can actually ask your traffic source for the tracking tokens, but most traffic sources are here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on content.ad right here, and I'm going to view the tokens that my traffic source provides. And they provide different tokens that gets added to the end of our campaign URL right here. And it provides us with extra information that we can pull up to be able to see exactly more information. So this right now tells us the ID of the ad or creative that the visitor clicked on. So it tells us which ads are profitable and which ones are not profitable. This one tells us the ID of the campaign that's profitable and which ones are not profitable. And this tells us the domain IDs, okay, so it tells us which sites that the visitor came from, so we can see exactly that, okay, and they won't tell you the specific site. It won't tell you that, okay, they're running on Forbes.com. They're just going to give a number to Forbes.com like 350, and you're going to be able to see 350 is profitable for you in your tracking account right here. And if you can see 350 is profitable in your tracking account, then you can pretty much just run on 350 and increase your bid for the website ID 350, okay? But for them, they want to keep it separate so that you don't see that information as Forbes.com, for the fact that you can just go up to Forbes.com and say, look, I don't want to use content.ad anymore. Let me just buy from Forbes.com, and you can run just traffic on Forbes.com and cut them out. So that's why they give you specific domain IDs and website IDs and that's why they want you to use tracking tokens as opposed to telling you all this information. So very, very simply, what you need to do, and just remember this as a rule, you want to call your token a specific name. So right here, we're going to call it domain ID, okay? So domain ID. I'm going to copy it and call it domain ID. And this is going to allow us to identify stuff in our tracking account. Now the field parameter is simply going to be this, okay? You want to make sure, okay, let me just start with URL append. URL append, you want to basically follow this rule, okay? You want to make sure you press and, okay? Then you want to press, you can have anything random inside of here. So for example, domain ID, I'm just going to abbreviate it so it's DID. So and DID, and you're going to see that right now is going to be added to the end of a campaign URL. So and DID equals, and then you want to copy your token, which is right here. So token name, I'm going to copy this and add it to the end. See that? So it says and DID equals token. So just remember, you want to put and, then make an abbreviation for something, right? So have an abbreviation for the name. So and, then domain ID, DID, and it can be anything, it doesn't really matter. Then put equals right there, and you want to put a token right there, okay? So just remember it like this. And abbreviation equals, and then token. Right there, just like that. Now what you want to do is for the field parameter, you basically want to copy whatever's the abbreviation between the and sign and between the equal sign, okay? So right here, the abbreviation is DID. So I'm going to copy it and paste it in the field parameter, and that's it. That's how we add tokens to the campaign URL. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to press and to add another token right here. So field name, we're going to add ID. So add ID. Field URL append is going to be and, the abbreviation. So it's called AID. Then equals. Then we're going to copy this right here. Token name, add ID. And paste it right there. Make sure there's no spaces. And again, we're going to put the field parameter as whatever is between the and sign and the equal sign, so AID. So paste it right there. I'm going to put one more. So press the and sign again, or the plus sign, to be able to add another token. So we're going to do campaign ID. So campaign ID is what I'm going to call this one, campaign ID. And I'm going to put it as and CID for campaign ID equals, and I'm going to copy this token right here. Okay, so copy right there. And the fill parameter is whatever's between the and sign and in between the equal sign. And we don't copy the and sign with the equal sign. See that? Now, by this time, you should have actually put the script into your landing page. You should put this script into your landing page, and you should replace all of your links going to your offer as well on your landing page with this link right here. And once you've done so as well, you can just press Save Changes, and it's going to save your campaign very, very simply. Now, what's going to happen is you are going to need to copy your campaign URL, because this campaign URL is what you're going to actually provide to your traffic source. Okay, so let me just copy this. So where's this campaign URL right here? You're going to be able to paste it right here, and you're going to be able to give this to your tracking source. Okay, so this is what you give to your traffic source. So give this link to your traffic source. See that? Now what you want to do is, in order for you to be able to identify which ad is what, if your traffic network doesn't provide you with a tracking token to identify the ads, okay, what you can do is you want to basically replace where it says any underscore name inside of your campaign URL with your ad name. Okay, so for example, if I'm testing 5 different ads, so I've got 5 different ads. So ad 1, got ad 2, ad 3, ad 4, and ad 5. So I've got 5 different ads, okay, that I'm going to be running, I'm going to be testing. What I want to do is I want to copy our campaign URL, and where it says any underscore name right here, we want to change this, okay, to something that's going to help us identify what each ad is. So very, very simply, we're going to change where it says any underscore name for each of our ads into something like this, ad 1, okay? Then we're going, when we actually make our first ad, we're going to paste this link right here that says ad 1 into ad 1. So every single time we get a click, we're going to see that that click came from ad 1. For our second ad, we're going to be able to just label this as ad 2. Okay, so just copy where it says any underscore name to ad 2. Okay, third ad will be ad 3. Okay, so just copy it, ad 3. So this basically allows us to be able to see exactly what click is coming from what. What will happen is you'll be able to identify exactly which ad is generating the click, and very, very simply allows you to be able to identify which ads are profitable and which ads are not profitable. Okay, so guys, that is how you create a campaign inside of Test Easily. It's very, very simple. There's not too much that is too hard for you to do. Yes, it might sound unfamiliar at first, but watch this video a few times, because this video is going to show you guys specifically how to create a campaign and how to do it easily, inside of Test Easily. And you can basically follow the same process with every other tracker out there. I mean, every other tracker is relatively similar as well. Okay, so guys, it's a very, very simple process for you guys to follow. Just make sure you guys follow it. You might have to watch this video a couple of times for you to be able to get the gist of things, but it shouldn't be too hard for you guys to be able to figure this out for yourself. And it's just following the rules, and once you do it a few times, you're going to get the gist of it, and you're going to be able to easily create campaigns. I mean, as easy as it is for you to say your ABCs, okay? Just follow it a few times, practice it a few times. Just make sure you follow it exactly how I've played it out in this video. This is the campaign URL that you give to your traffic source. Add your landing page in, add your offers in, add the code into your landing page and offers. No, you just add the code into your landing page, okay? And just make sure you add your offer to your tracking account, and once you do that, you should be good to go, okay? So it's your boy, Mr. Opulent. I'm going to see you guys on top.